Hi, friend. Relationships can be extra tricky. We're all changing, evolving, and discovering parts of ourselves. So, when that's happening within the context of a relationship, it can feel extra tricky to navigate. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Today, I have a Reddit story that I am going to read about a particular situation in a relationship. I'm also going to add some of what is coming up for me when it comes to the story. So, my name is Raquel P, and I am a licensed professional counselor candidate in the state of Colorado. This is where I share my story and others' stories and share how my mind and body are processing the information. Well, with that, let's go ahead and get started. So, here goes. So, the title of this Reddit post is, "My wife came out as trans and now I don't know what to do." Me, male 32, wife female 33. Came out as gender fluid earlier this year. We'd been married for 5 years. I accepted the small changes, stopped wearing makeup, wearing baggier gender-neutral clothes, and deepening their voice. I loved her long hair, but sadly, that had to go. I truly miss how she looked before. But at the same time, I want her to be happy. They came out to their parents and the rest of their family about 2 to 3 months ago, but as transgender. It was my first time hearing it, as they gleefully told everyone over the phone. It took me by surprise. So I asked, "I thought you said you were gender fluid before." And they replied, "It falls under the same umbrella." So I thought, oh, okay. Just the other day, he came crying to me saying that he is still feeling strong feelings of gender dysphoria and that he has decided that he will transition in the coming years. That would involve hormone therapy and gender-affirming surgery. We used to talk about having our own children one day, but I think that option is no longer on the table. I still love them so much, but I'm 100% straight. I can accept the aforementioned small changes, but I will no longer be able to recognize them anymore after hormone therapy and surgery. I feel like the woman I had vowed to love for the rest of my life is now gone, and I'm never going to see her again. We built our home, share a mortgage and pets, we don't have any children, and make the same amount of money. I hate the thought of separation, but at this point, it feels inevitable. I'm writing this in my office, and the tears won't stop. While my partner is downstairs lying on the couch, also crying because of their gender dysphoria. First, I just want to share how incredibly painful this situation sounds, and it sounds like is happening in this relationship. Oftentimes, the hurt and the pain that we experience in our romantic relationships, it isn't intentional. It simply is coming from that evolution and that self-discovery that all individuals go through over the course of their life. And so it sounds like that is what's happening in this story. And because of that, or through that, there is much hurt and pain that is bubbling to the surface, understandably so. The other thing that's coming up for me is that I can't help but say kudos to you. And you might ask, why would you say that? But to me, it sounds like they have developed a relationship where there is so much trust that a truth that is coming up for one of them, a truth that they are transgender and wanting to transition, something that is so deeply personal and can be complex and maybe even complicated and painful, is being shared with the other. And that we cannot minimize the amount of trust that has to be there in the relationship to be able to share those kinds of truths. So again, kudos to being able to develop and culture a relationship where trust is so evident that it exists. It seems like there is much rising to the surface in this story, so much rising to the surface that can use exploration and curiosity and some more unpacking. Some of the things that jumped out to me, just to name a few, are that of attraction, sexuality, and even grief, which, if we think about it, makes complete and total sense given the story that this relationship is going through. From my perspective, it feels like it would be imperative for this relationship for them to continue to really find ways to hold space and share and hear the truths that are coming up for each of them. Because as raw, uncomfortable, complicated, and complex, and maybe even painful they might be, from my perspective at least, it's the only way that they can begin to find where their boundaries are. And once that happens, they can continue to support one another while still honoring themselves. And then through that process, they can begin to find a path of moving forward. Well, friend, if this story got some stuff stirring up inside of you, I would love to hear some of those comments. Please pop them down below in the comments. If this has been useful or helpful for you in any way, please hit that like button down below. If you would like to get more content like it on a weekly basis, please subscribe. Until next time, bye for now.